Welcome to Tech Topics brought to you by Cybervenger. We help keep small businesses stay protected and compliant with cutting-edge cybersecurity and IT solutions.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Andy. I'm the Managing Consultant for Cybervenger. Today we're doing another deep dive into the 110 controls of the NIST 800-171 standard. This standard helps people to protect controlled unclassified information when they're doing business with the Department of Defense or other federal government departments. Now this control is a huge opportunity precisely because it's kind of a pain to implement. But if you can figure out how to do that in your organization and take advantage of that, it presents incredible business opportunities for your business. So check out our video on how to do that and why it's such a great opportunity and why that kind of security level is so important. And today's control, if we look down here, is 3.14.6. And it says that you need to monitor organizational systems, including inbound and outbound communication traffic, to detect attacks and indications of potential attacks. Okay, so you're monitoring your system to see if you're being hacked, right? Check your logs, have logs. This is very redundant to all the other controls we have out there. We have controls that talk about logging this, that, to having alerts, to having monitored. We've talked about this stuff before. And I've said before, we have duplicates in the NIST framework. It's not that they're being repetitive for no reason. It's not fluff. It's they're trying to really beat home a point, right? And sometimes you take those two things that seem like they're almost identical, and there's some subtle difference between the two, right? You can see what it is they're trying to drive home by looking at them very carefully. There's a second paragraph here, and it's long-winded. It talks about the kinds of things you need to track when you're tracking the technology, like intruder protection, intruder detection. Intruder protection systems, well, I'll start with intruder detection systems will detect when something funky is going on. There's a lot of known vulnerabilities out there and on the internet, and when traffic is going to a firewall that looks like one of those things, it can detect, log, and alert you. Intruder protection systems take it a step further. If they recognize it, why not do something about that traffic, right? They'll block that traffic. That could be a problem sometimes on a firewall. Sometimes stuff is being blocked and you don't know why. I've had to troubleshoot things by turning off the intruder protection for a moment, just for a brief moment, and seeing if the problem goes away in terms of ability to access a website and whatnot. And then, okay, if it does, then you know it's IPS, and then you can tune and tweak the rules, create whitelists and exceptions, that sort of thing. So, but all of that aside, it's important that you, in order to comply with this control, that you monitor all this stuff that's going on. So if you do have to make a whitelist and exception, you want to log that somewhere in your system so it's visible in an audit, and that your organization can demonstrate that it's aware of this and consciously evaluate the risk to make sure it's a wise choice rather than just making a bunch of whitelists. But it talks more about being able to monitor and detect malicious activity at multiple points in your network, not just the firewall. And this kind of goes home, this whole entire family of controls, the entire 3.14 family, it seems to me, just screams endpoint detection and response. You want to know the difference between antivirus and endpoint detection and response. These controls are talking about it. The ability to detect malicious behavior, heuristics, things that shouldn't be going on, and respond to it. Something like Carbon Black or Sentinel-1 or Intercept-X, these products are all EDR products. They'll notice when processors are doing weird things like spawning other processes and talking over the network, going out to the internet, doing stuff that's suspicious, and kind of cut that off and alert you and put all this information to a central console where you can review it. And again, I've talked about this before in other controls in this family, that EDR is kind of the tool to do it. You probably want a team, and that service is called Managed Threat Response. And you have a security operations center, you have security professionals monitoring all this stuff, being able to respond and evaluate what's actually going on with human intellect and not just robotics. And that's all important in order to fulfill the requirement of 3.14.6. So you want to monitor stuff, and you want to be able to check those at various points. You could have a lot of different segments to your network, right? You could have your firewall, obviously, but you might also have a VLAN set up where you have workstations in one VLAN, you have servers in another, you have management VLAN with ILO cards, and perhaps your virtualization, like your VMware vCenter IP might go there, and they're all keep them separate, right? And in a lot of cases, certain segments should not be talking to each other. Like maybe it's like a hub and spoke kind of design, and then you get two endpoints trying to talk to each other that shouldn't be. You should be able to see that and evaluate whether that is malicious or just a misconfig, or maybe something supposed to be happening but you didn't think about it. That's the kind of stuff you should be monitoring in addition. And again, endpoint detection response, that's kind of what it does. It helps you do that. But there are other technologies you can use. You should be able to see things at the switch layer, see them in logs, and you want systems that'll help you, consolidate all of that into a usable picture. And that we've talked about that in the previous controls. Again, this is very redundant, but it's beating the point home that you got to be doing this. You got to be monitoring things like that at multiple points, not just the firewall. I think that's the real takeaway. So once again, when we talk about rubber meets the road, what do you do when you're trying to comply with this control? Go get endpoint detection response and find yourself a managed threat response company that works for you. I think that really solves pretty much this entire family of controls for the most part. There's very little additional you got to do beyond that. So that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the last control, 3.14.7, coming up next.
Thanks for watching. We hope this video has provided valuable information to you. Be sure to share this video with other small business owners to spread the word about the importance of cybersecurity. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos like this. If you want more information about cybersecurity, visit us at www.cybervenger.com.